What would you do if your deadbeat ex-roommate gave your phone number to a dozen creditors they defaulted on, just to mess with you?
That's what happened to me.
But instead of getting mad, I got deliciously petty. And now, every time those collectors call, I deliver a punchline that leaves them speechless and makes my old roommate's life a living nightmare. If you've ever been used, betrayed, or screwed over by someone you trusted, then this story's for you. Because you're about to hear how I turned debt collectors into my personal messengers of revenge. I used to live with someone I'll call Bryce. When we first moved in together, it seemed like a solid plan. Rent was getting out of control in the city, and splitting a place just made sense. Bryce came off as chill, friendly, and claimed he had a steady remote gig. But by month 2, red flags started flying. Rent showed up late. Dishes piled up. The bathroom? Let's just say it looked like a science experiment. And anytime I asked him to clean up or pay on time, he got defensive, accusing me of being uptight or acting like his mom. By the 3rd month, I'd had enough. I gave him an ultimatum. Start paying rent on time and clean up after yourself or move out. Well, he chose option 3, a dramatic exit with 0 notice. Just vanished one weekend. No call, no note, nothing. Left behind a mess and several unpaid bills. I was furious, but relieved. At least I wouldn't have to deal with his lazy freeloading anymore. Or so I thought. Because a couple weeks later, I started getting weird phone calls. Unknown numbers. Different area codes. Voicemails asking for Bryce. Hi, is Bryce available? This is nationwide credit recovery. It's regarding an urgent matter. At first, I thought it was a one-off. Wrong number maybe. But it didn't stop. In fact, it got worse. I started getting multiple calls per day from different banks, lenders, collections agencies. All asking for him. All using my number. That's when it hit me. This wasn't random. Bryce had listed my number on all the credit applications and loans he defaulted on. His big revenge? Letting me deal with the fallout from his financial dumpster fire.
Classy, right?
At first, I was stressed. Worried. Did he use more than just my number? I locked down my credit immediately. Froze my reports. Monitored my accounts. Thankfully, nothing else was compromised. Turns out Bryce wasn't smart enough to pull off real identity theft. But he was just smart enough to be annoying. For weeks, my phone was a war zone. Every call started the same. Is Bryce available? And at first, I tried to explain. I'd say, he doesn't live here anymore. Didn't help. They just kept calling. That's when I decided, if I can't stop the calls, I might as well enjoy them. So I changed my approach. Now when they ask, can I speak to Bryce? I respond, dead serious. I have 0 intention of paying that debt. You can hear the silence on the other end. Confusion, then concern. Sometimes they ask, are you saying you're responsible? And I follow up with, you may have to sue to get that money. Then I hang up. No explanation. No context. Just a cold, passive-aggressive mic drop. And the best part? I imagine them putting notes on Bryce's account like, refuses to cooperate. May require legal action. He brought this on himself. I get to sit back, take the calls, and mess with every single one of them. It doesn't stop the harassment entirely, but it turns it into a game. And, more importantly, it ensures Bryce is still facing the consequences. Because every time they log those notes, every time they escalate the case, it's another headache for him. And every time I hang up with a smirk on my face, I think, sure showed me, huh?
Nope.
You showed your true colors. What Bryce thought would be a petty inconvenience for me has turned into a slow, painful reminder for him that debts don't disappear, and neither do consequences. Now, every call he misses, every lawsuit they threaten, every credit score drop, he knows I'm the one they called first. And I didn't lift a finger to help. Because I don't have to. He buried himself. I just sit back and let the creditors dig. Some people think revenge has to be loud and messy. But sometimes, the sweetest revenge is silence, sarcasm, and letting someone destroy themselves with their own choices. Bryce thought he was clever. All he did was prove how far he'd fall just to avoid accountability. If this story made you laugh, or made you cheer, hit that like button. Drop a comment below. What's the pettiest, most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories of karma, payback, and sweet, sweet justice.